whole year. Hey? And you've only actually had 3 days of school. We cannot look like that. I want you to stand up. I want you to stand up. Oh, no, we can't stand up like that. Sit down. If the teacher stand up faster than you, there is trouble. Stand up. Ooh, Miss Janelle won you. Sit down. Stand up. Aha. That is better. I want you to stretch up high. Stretch up high. No. Destiny, when I say stretch up high, you stretch. You don't go, so hands down. Hands down. When I say stretch up high, you do it. You don't wonder if you want to. Is that a deal? Say deal. All right, stretch up high. Up, 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 up. And then I want you to sound like a balloon that's air is going out. All the way down to the ground. Down to the ground. And up. Stretch up high. Up, 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 up. And good, and stand back on your places. You may take a seat. Destiny Academy, we are alive. We have blood in our veins. You have a school to go to. You know, this morning I was talking with a lady and I asked her to sign my paper. And she told me she cannot sign my paper because she never went to school. So she doesn't even know how to sign. And I said, can't you just write your name? And she said, no, I never went to school. And she's already old, she's a grandma. And she never went to school. So the fact that you are sitting on a chair this morning and you can be here, you must look much happier. Because there are other people that cannot even read, they cannot write. And you can. So I want to see better faces. Do you remember our deal? What is our deal? Who can remember? What's our new deal? Christian? Yes, if you look happy, I will look happy. So if I need to talk to you this morning the way you are looking, it's going to be an assembly like this. Are you happy to be here today, Destiny Academy? I'm going to slouch the way you are slouching in your chairs. Well, boys, are you happy to be here today, huh? Well, then I think you should sit up straight, eh? Are you happy to be here this morning, boys? Are you happy to be here, girls? Woo, you see, now we can must do it. Ridderpoorts, are you happy to be here today? Wonderful. All right, I have something I would like us to watch, and then when we are finished watching it, we are going to talk about it. So you must look and listen. I'm going to ask you questions. Are you ready? Oh. All right, let's have a look. Thank you, Miss Ursula.
The Faithful Hall of Fame, Joshua. This is Joshua.
Oh, hey.
Joshua was the leader of the Israelites, who God used to bring his people to the Promised Land.
Yeah, let's do it.
When God told Joshua it was time to take the Promised Land, Joshua sent spies into the city of Jericho. While those spies were in Jericho,
Come on!
they were protected by a woman named Rahab. The spies promised to spare Rahab and her family when they took back the land.
Yay!
And she hung a scarlet cord from her window to remind them of their promise.
See you soon!
Now the Israelites had crossed the Jordan and were camped near the town of Jericho.
Hey!
Hello.
One day, Joshua looked up,
Huh?
and there was a man standing before him.
Hello.
The man said, "I am the commander of the army of the Lord." Joshua asked what the man wanted to tell him, and the Lord said he wanted Joshua to take the city of Jericho.
Alright.
but that Joshua needed to follow his instructions exactly.
You got it.
Jericho was shut for fear of the Israelites.
Anyone home? Yeah, well.
No one came out and no one came in. So the Lord told Joshua to gather his soldiers and march around the city for 6 days.
Mary.
The priests were to take the Ark of the Covenant, and 7 priests were to go in front of it, blowing a ram's horn. On the 7th day, they were to march around the city 7 times and blow the horn. Then all the people of Israel were to give a great shout,
Then what?
and then the city walls would fall.
Whoa! Yeah, let's do it.
So Joshua said, "Shout, for the Lord has given you the city." And the people did shout. And the walls did fall.
Let's go!
The Israelites overtook the city of Jericho as God had commanded.
Rahab.
They remembered Rahab because of her faithfulness. Joshua was faithful in carrying out God's commands, and the Israelites took many other cities as God told them they would.
Oh, nice.
For God will never fail to fulfill his promises. So the Israelites came to live in the land that God had promised Abraham, Isaac, Israel, Joseph, and Moses many years ago.
Destiny, you may smile. You may smile, and it's okay if something is funny to laugh. Hey? Grade ones, are your laughing strings attached? Do they work? Do your laughing strings work? Because I am worried. Huh? Grade one? Oh, Miss Rebecca, I think we're going to have to make a plan. Here is some laughing strings that have broken off. And we are going to have to make a plan. This one works because he's laughing and I haven't touched him. Hi, grade ones. You may look happy. You may smile. You may giggle. It is nice. Life is too short to be so serious, Destiny. All right. Did you enjoy that story? Great. Now, who can remember what we spoke about on Wednesday? What did we speak about last week, Wednesday, when we also had assembly? Zander?
We did talk about superheroes.
About superheroes. And what did we say about superheroes?
Strange.
Superheroes have strength. But what did I say? Who can be a superhero? Yes, we all can be superheroes. And then I used you an example. I said, where did I read about superheroes? In the Now remember I told you the story about him, about Joshua, that made the wall fall down without even touching it? Can you remember? All right, and that's the video that we saw. Now I want to ask you a question this morning. What happened, or what did Joshua do? What do you think? Now, this is maybe a bit for the bigger, older students, not bigger, older. The older students are listening now. What did Joshua do that helped him? What was the main thing Joshua did, and that is why the wall fell down? I want you to think, not the obvious, a bit less obvious thing. What did Joshua do?
Mommy obeyed God.
He obeyed God. That is right. There's just another word that I'm looking for. What did he do? He did obey God, but there's a word. It starts with an L.
He was faithful.
Faithful. What did he do? It starts with an L.
He listened.
Cameron, tell us again. What did he do?
Joshua listened.
Cameron, tell us again. What did he do?
Joshua listened.
Cameron, tell us again. What did he do?
Joshua listened.
Oh, Give her a hand. Give her a hand. When God sent his angel to speak to Joshua, did Joshua say, "Ah, never mind, I'll do it my own way"? What did he do? He listened. And each one of the stories that I told you about last week, I can show you how the person did something that was like a superhero because they listened to God. Okay? Now you know David that killed Goliath? He also listened. But you know what? David wasn't an old man. He was as young as some of you. So that means, Destiny Academy, God wants to sit up straight. Sit up straight. God wants to speak to you. Who is 7 years old? God wants to speak to you. Who is 16 years old? Who's 15 years old? Who's turning 15? God wants to speak to you. Destiny Academy, God wants to speak to you. And the secret to becoming a superhero. Are you ready? Pinky promise you won't tell anyone. It's a secret. Okay? The secret to becoming a superhero is listening to God. That's all. God wants to speak to you. God wants to tell you how to do it, when to do it, why to do it. All you have to do is listen. And you know what? He wants to speak to you with your math. He wants to speak to you with your English. He wants to speak to you while you are running cross country. He wants to help you to know how to throw your shot put, how to hit the cricket ball, even things like that. God wants to speak to you. All you have to do is, I hear the staff, but they know. It's you that I'm talking to. All you have to do is listen. Now, the thing is, what do you think would have been the cool thing to do? Do you think? Now, let's make a picture. Option 1. Say option 1. Come on, Destiny. Say option 1. Option 1. Joshua puts his muscles, okay, and he's got his armor all shiny and his big sword, and he goes to his army and he says, "Army, I am going to lead you to victory." Okay, option 1. What option was that? Option 2. Army, we are going to walk around Jericho without saying a word for 7 days. Okay, well, that was option. Which option do you think would have made him look cooler? Which one? The one where he could show his muscles, show his big sword, and show them that he is gonna do it. Nah. But which one did he choose? Even if it was the option that wasn't the coolest thing to do. Even if it was the option that would have not made his friends say, "Wow, you're so amazing." He chose that option. Why? Because that was what God told him to do. Last week I told you, you must be You must be brave. And I think that's what Joshua did. He chose the brave thing. Even if it looked weird, even if everybody inside of Jericho was going, "Yuck, that man lost his mind." Huh? I think they must have thought, that army is going crazy. They've been walking around for 7 days. Yeesh. But even if, no matter what the people were going to say, he chose to do what God wanted him to do. Now, how do we know, Destiny Academy, what God wants us to do? How can we listen to the instructions that he gives us? Where do we get those instructions? Who knows? Yeah, you can say. Excusez-moi.
In the Bible.
In the Bible. Where do we see the Bible? In our paces. Who have Bible verses in their paces? Come, all of you, put up your hand. Put. All of you have Bible verses in your paces. And those Bible verses tell us what God wants us to do. Put your hands down. Where else can we know what God wants us to do?
Churchman.
By listening to our pastor in church. That is right. Where else? Nika? By your youth leader.
Teacher.
Where your teacher. Yes, your teachers in Destiny Academy are teaching you what God wants you to do.
By your supervisor.
Your supervisor and your mom and your dad. Who of your mom and dads love God? And so if they teach you to not lie, if they teach you to be honest and obedient, they are teaching you what God wants you to do. Put down your hands. Now, last thing, as I finish this morning. Pastor Tasha, do you all know who Pastor Tasha is? Pastor Tasha is the pastor of what church? Where is Gateway City Church? It's this church. It's the chair that you are sitting on now. And Gateway City Church is the church that opened up its arms and its heart and its life, that we as Destiny Academy can sit on these green chairs. Okay, so yesterday in Gateway City Church, Pastor Tasha made a statement. Woo, big word. She said, listen to the voice of God and not an opinion noise. Now, I want to show that to you this morning. What she's saying is it's easy for the students from Mrs. DeToy's Learning Center, especially you and Mrs. Filyoon's Learning Center. It's easy to have many opinions and voices talking to us, but it makes a noise that we cannot hear God's voice. Now, I'd like to show you. FET Learning Center, can you please join me on the stage? It's okay, Joel, you can carry on, it's fine. I need 5, Huntley, so that's why I'm allowing you to come. All right. Now, Tehila. Tehila is a student in Destiny Academy. Can you see her? Can you see her, Destiny Academy? Yes, right. Nika Marie is representing the TV. Can you see her? Anka is representing the radio and music. Say hello, music. Okay. Niku is representing all her friends. Say hello, friends. And Huntley is representing, for the biggest students, her ambitions. It means her dreams, what she wants to become, what she thinks. So say hello, dreams. All right. Now I am representing God. Don't say hello, God, but I am representing God. Okay. Now I want to speak to Tehila. Is it easy for me to speak to Tehila now? Why? Because she's standing right in front of me. Can you see that? Okay, now, go a bit back, will you? Nika, will you start talking to Tehila, please, about anything? Tell her about the weather. Anka, will you start telling her about the new music that's... And then will you start telling her about the party that's happening next week? And then will you start telling her she must remember she wants to be cool? Tehila! 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 All right, thank you, seniors. Thank you, seniors. All right, you may be seated. I know it's funny, but I want you to see what I'm showing you. If we allow the TV, the story, whether it's Disney Channel or whatever it is, if you allow that story to tell you how you must speak to your parents, what to be because you want to be like Princess Sophia, or you want to be like the PJ Bandits, what's that thing? PJ Moss. Or you want to be like Casey Undercover, or you want to be like, I don't know, I'm running out of ideas. If you allow that to tell you, or you look at Rihanna, or you look at Justin Bieber, and you say, I want to walk like Justin Bieber, with his pants hanging down here. And then you allow your friends to say, oh, lie to your mom. Just lie to your mom. It's fine. I lied to my mom yesterday and she wasn't angry. Lie to your mom. And then you look in the mirror and you decide, I want to look like a bad boy. This is my attitude today, because this is who I want to be. Okay? And all these voices start talking to you. They make such a noise that when God comes, because God's not going to shout at you. He's not going to say, Zionai, come here. He's going to say, Zionai. Zionai. Because he's loving. So he'll say, Zionai, come with me. Zionai, come with me. Now you have all these other voices talking to you. Are you going to hear him? Are you going to hear him? And that's why Pastor Tasha said yesterday, make sure that you listen to the voice of God and not to all the other noises. Destiny Academy, especially you older students, listen to me. It's not easy. It's very easy to do what your friends want you to do. It's very easy to do the thing that everyone's doing, the easy thing. It's only the brave ones. The brave ones that are willing to say, I don't mind. I don't mind people calling me a geek. I don't mind people calling me a Bible freak. I love God, and I'm going to obey him. If you lie to your mom, that's your choice. But I don't lie to my mom. If you made scoring violations to pass that test, it's your choice. But me, I'm going to do it the honest way. Then I am doing what? I'm listening to the voice of God. And the truth is, if we think about the people that listened to the voice of God, did it turn out good for them? They became superheroes. They became famous. Did you see that video said Hall of Fame? They became famous. Think about it. We are talking about Joshua who lived how many years ago? I think that qualifies as famous. I mean, seriously. If I ask you today, Destiny, who is Frank Sinatra? Who can answer me? Here in front. Okay? You don't even know who Frank Sinatra is. Like 20, 30 years ago, 50 years ago, he was very famous. But now people don't even know who he is. But Joshua lived hundreds of years ago, and you still know who he is. I think that we call famous. If you listen to God, Destiny Academy, it's not like just these little famous people now. You get a place in heaven. That's the most famous spot you can have on earth. Do you hear me? So my challenge for you for this week is listen to God. What is my challenge to you, Destiny? I want you to stand up, please. And I want you to say I. One hand, say I. And then the other hand, keep that hand there. I'm going to be, lift your shoulders, brave enough, look up to listen to God. Stare. Take it in. Feel the braveness entering your bones. And then you may be seated. Will you remember that? All right. All right, Destiny Academy, I want to say all the best for your new week. We don't have privileges yet. We don't have congratulations slips yet because this week you are going to work hard. Who's going to have a congratulations slip next week, Monday? Come on, be brave enough. Come on. Who's going to have a congratulations slip next week, Monday? Come on. Put it up. Just feel how it feels. Oh, it feels so good. You see? Oh, it feels so good. Yes, man, it can be possible. And then last thing, I want to show you something, and then we are finished. Look at the Destiny Academy board. This is for students in Mrs. DeToy's and Mrs. V's class. Check it out. Sound, please. Ooh, say ooh. it's time to start the Destiny Academy band. What do you think? All right, so if you are interested, it means we're going to start singing some songs on a Monday morning with assembly, and we're going to have our own band leading us in worship. Okay? So if you can do any of those things that the video said at your own time when your supervisor says it's fine and you're not busy with a pace test or a checkup, you can come and see me, and then we'll write down what you can do and maybe let you sing, because now we, give Cameron the mic and she says, so I'll just make sure you can sing before we give you the mic, okay? All right, Destiny Academy, listen to me. I want you to smile. I want you to laugh, because life is good. Look at the person next to you. Say, life is good. You go to your learning center now. When you sit down in your office, you be brave. You work hard. Okay. I want to say, kick this week's. Okay. You get my picture? Wonderful. Mrs. Spear.
Good morning, Destiny. That means buttons. Kick this week's buttons. Good. Okay, just one announcement from my side. I want Luandile to quickly come and stand in the front, please. And I want Ty to quickly come and stand in the front, please. Ma'am, did your grade ones wear their pullovers this morning? Not all of them. Okay, we are going to send a letter home with pictures. But please, you are big enough to know that when we come to school, now we must wear our pullovers. Last year, Pastor Stefan said you must wear your dry mac as well on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Can you remember that? But the weather is changing. So this is official Monday, Wednesday, and Friday uniform. You may not leave home if you're not dressed correctly. Do you understand? So please make sure that you know about that, or that you are dressed correctly when you come, so that you look very, very smart. Okay, you may go. Tomorrow is Tuesday, and tomorrow we will have our very first sports period. Yay! Sports will be tomorrow, so tomorrow you are going to come to school dressed in your black short, your white, red, or black t-shirt. You must have tackies on, and you must tomorrow morning have your dry mac on. You can take it off when you go to the class, but you must line up with your dry mac. Clear? So that will be for tomorrow. Tomorrow is sport. That goes for all of us. We are going to do sport. I do know the boys are going to play cricket. That's all I know. Okay, so boys are starting with cricket. Girls, we are starting with the general fitness tomorrow. So just come ready for sport tomorrow. Clear? Wednesday we wear proper school uniform again. Thursday we wear. Friday we wear proper school uniform. Help one another so that we've got 100% dress code, that we always look very smart. Is that clear? Good. You may stand for us. Thank you, Rodepoort. Good luck with the rest section of your academic work that is waiting for you. I trust you will also have a great week, and let's make the best of every opportunity. We're not going to sing the school song this morning. We are just going to dismiss from here. If I can ask the prefects, if you will just come to the front. And in Rodepoort, Evan, if you can just dismiss the boys and girls first and send them back to their learning centers. Thank you. And then to the staff.